resolutions. For HCR 129, what do you think the chances of that passing before the end of the legislative session is?
I think it was yesterday. It was referred. It's in the Senate, but I'm not sure. I don't know if it doesn't have to be referred to committee. They could possibly waive that and take it up on the floor, I believe, but just take it right up. But we don't know yet. We'd have to check on that. But it is in the Senate.
Offhand, could you tell me what the difference between the funding from 2009, 2010 to 2010, 2011 for Lewis was from the Board of Regents?
I'll let Todd or Barbara speak to the financing, but let me make one point about the urgent request for Lewis. The Lewis initiative was started by the Board of Regents, and so we've been actively engaged in trying to ensure that that efficiency program continues for our libraries. What Representative Jackson said to us was that we really want to raise awareness because he saw this as a two-part process of one, having a study resolution to go through the process so that more legislators could hear about Lewis, but also working with the appropriations and money committees to try to commit some additional dollars for this year. So I think there is a belief that mission has been accomplished because it is an HB1. So while the resolution is important because it allows the Senate to speak to the importance of Lewis, the more important issue was obviously receiving some funding for Lewis. That has been put into HB1. It is before the governor, so that piece has been successfully accomplished. The Senate, as you know, will finish their work today. It will not be sent to a committee. It could be heard directly on the floor, but I did want to make sure that we did say to the board that that piece was critical and the funding was the priority there. Todd?
And to your question about the budgets, I believe that in 09-10, the budget for Lewis was right about $4.1 million. As we moved through the budget cuts for 10-11, that budget went down to $3.1 million or $3.2 million, but the mix in the funding changed. And that in 9-10, the Regents was funding 75% of that amount, and by the end of the day in 10-11, the Regents was only able to fund 15%. So the share went to the member campuses. They picked up the tab to cover that. The proposed budget, as I understand it right now, for 11-12 is $3.6 million. So there is going to be a little bit increase in that budget. And to reiterate what Dr. Reed said, the Board of Regents had committed $500,000 of our budget already. We picked up another $500,000, so that's $1 million right there. So that should help alleviate some of the pressure on the member institutions.
Okay, thank you.
You have another question?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. In reference to the Ag Center funds, I see you got $5 million restoration funds for the Ag Center. Which Ag Center is that? And number two, why such disparity when it comes to Southern University Ag Center versus the other Ag Center?
I'm not sure. I mean, the $5 million is for the LSU